we live yet? It says so. Okay. So I'm gonna stick this guy down here. Just hide this so that's not bothering us. And then just check it out on the page. So you're watching. Okay, good. We got a couple people watching. Perfect. What's up? Dr. Sci-Freak, I've never heard of you. Sorry. Okay, so we'll get started in a minute. But, let's see. Maybe I'll send this to my friend, too. So he can come in if he wants. Nice work, thank you. So, last time on the live stream, I was working on some thing, and I don't think it was clear to most people what it was, but I was having an issue, that's the point, and I fixed it, which is nice. It's been a year. Not since the last stream, Pooh Helican, it's been a couple days since the last stream. But the point of this stream is that now that I fixed this issue that I was having, I started looking forward to what I should do next with this ray traced shader pack that is sort of a ripoff of Sonic Ether's, what he's working on right now. And the point is that I was looking through Sonic Ether's shader pack and how he did something, and he did something that was so fucking smart that that I wanted to talk about it right now. I said it would be in 10 minutes. Yeah, that's because it just automatically set it to 11, and I wasn't really paying attention, so I'm sorry about that. I'm fast. I want to get, you know what would be nice is if I could get the concurrent viewers, that little metric off my screen, because it's really distracting me. It causes, it's making me more narcissistic. It's making parts of my body sort of shrink up, and it's just sort of stressing me out. Is it a ripoff? If it'll be better. I don't, so here's the thing is, like, I generally find myself working on stuff when I enjoy it, and as soon as I stop enjoying it, I stop working on stuff. But the problem is that it means I can't finish anything. Like, I won't be able to get something to the level that Sonic Ether has, just because when it gets down to the nitty gritty of just like writing like boring functions, which every shader pack needs, I probably won't be up for it. So I'm mostly playing around to explore the technology and what's possible in this 10-year-old game. What is going on right here? I need to figure out, because this was working before. Everything looked pretty good. Maybe it's nighttime or something. No, that's not the problem. Shit, I better figure this out. Let me just see if anything is working. No, absolutely nothing is working now. I must have edited something in here and left it that way. And, oh no, if I broke something and then I don't know how to fix it, that's going to be awful. Huh. Something is wrong with the way data is being stored in this world. I don't know if it's my fault. Just give me a second to get my bearings, and then I'll talk about this thing that Sonic Ether did that's so smart. Oh shit, something is really fucked up with this shader pack, and I have no idea what. Let me just look through this. I'm doing this thing. I don't have any undo magic. Well, I'm not going to bother with that. Then I'm just going to get to this thing I wanted to talk about. So if we go to Seuss, the new shader that he's got out right now on Patreon, which you guys should all go subscribe to if you're interested. And source control is an excellent thing. Yeah, it is. I didn't put this on source control before because it was supposed to be a secret thing for the Continuum project, but that's sort of gone away. So I should go and put this my project on GitHub soon. Let me get back into Seuss. I'm gonna just take the liberty of opening up Seuss even though I'm on Livestream. But that's okay because most of it is obfuscated and it's not a big deal. I'm not going to show any amount of code that's going to let someone do something that they shouldn't do if they haven't paid for it. Okay, so here we have a shader pack. And you can see it kind of looks okay. Maybe a little bit disappointing based on the photos that Sonic Ether is posting on Twitter. But still impressive nonetheless what his shader pack is doing. But I wanted to point out something that's going on. So, if I find some body of water, and I want everyone to put their thinking caps on right now, because this is seriously this is Einstein level shit. What he has come up with. Okay, fix the texture pack resolution. So, if you remember the shader pack that I was working on. Come on. Oh, here things are working. Okay, great. So let me just get a preview of what the ray tracing looks like in the thing I'm working on right now. In my project, things kind of look like this. One sec. Okay, so you can see it's all the terrain and all the geometry that's in the world, but everything is a single solid color, which is sort of the reason that is because we're storing the entire world. We're basically like slicing it up into planes and then laying them out and placing them into the shadow map, which is the buffer that we use to render shadows. This is like a really hacky, weird thing to do, but Sonic Ether, that it was one of his strokes of genius that he came up with doing that. But just that on its own will get you to this point where we have three-dimensional data represented, but we have no texture on anything. Everything is a solid color. And so I had no idea how to deal with this. I figured like that's just how it would be. We can get some approximate like colored lighting, but we're not gonna see like the reflections of like cool stuff in the water or anything with like great definition. But the thing is that if you actually open up his shader, and you look in the reflections in the water, that is exactly what you see. You see the texture of that. Like that tree over there, you see the texture on it, and like how is that possible based on what we've seen so far? We're like clearly he's only able to store like 1 pixel for every block in the world within some radius around the player. So how the hell are we able to see the texture on those blocks? And they're not on screen, so it's not screen space anything. If we reload the shader pack, then we can see that we haven't even looked. So it's not stored. It hasn't stored this texture information in any way. So how is it working? And so I figured out Sonic Ether had another stroke of absolute fucking brilliance, like really a genius idea, and that is instead of storing like in my shader pack so far. Instead of just storing the solid color, it takes a while to switch, the solid color like this, he stores the texture coordinate of a block. So that is the location in the texture atlas where that block is, so that then when you've marched through, let me get this thing up. When you've done your little ray march through your shit, let's say each of these squares here is going to represent a block, and we can only store a single color in our data structure for each to represent each of these blocks and whether there's something there or not. Okay, so right here what we're doing is we're just storing the average color of the block's like whole net texture. So you can imagine like maybe this D block right here might have a green like leaf or something in it. But then how do we actually get the leaf texture back when all we can store is basically a single pixel? Well, we can store the location of that block's texture coordinate in here, and then when we're doing our ray march, we're going to know where in the block our ray intersected the texture, or which part of the block our ray intersected this point. And so we can then just take the texture coordinate, which is what we stored in our data structure, and then I'm sure there's some sort of math that we can do to say, okay, texture coordinate plus the offset of where we actually hit the block, and that will get us the actual fine-grained texture detail that we can see in this shader pack. But yeah, that's just like really mind-blowing idea. Like when I downloaded this the other day, I paid Sonic Ether $10 on Patreon just so I could do this and look at what his shader pack was doing. And when I saw that you could see the like actual textures on the blocks in reflections and stuff, I was kind of like had no idea how he was doing that. And it's been as soon as I sort of realized how I think he's doing it. To be honest, his shader pack is obfuscated, so I don't even know if that's what he's doing. But it seems like the only explanation that I could come up with. And when I realized that, it was like, holy shit, man! Sonic Ether is a fucking genius, and he deserves every penny that he's making on Patreon, and more probably, because I will definitely criticize Sonic Ether's code, like I did last time. I said that it was messy and slow and inefficient, and it's not robust. Like, this doesn't look that good unless you're in like a very specific setup that you've made to take a screenshot. But despite all of that, like poor programming practices and all the criticisms I can come up with about Sonic Ether, like he is fucking a genius, and he has consistently been really the only one pushing Minecraft shaders forward in terms of like technology and things that are possible. And he basically, like I said this last time, like he has consistently come up with an impossible idea for something to do, and then ended up carrying it out. So it's just like, man, props to this guy. I wish that I could have a conversation with him someday, but I don't think I don't know how to contact him, and I don't know if he really wants to like waste his time talking to me. But that would be awesome. Yeah. Let me see what the live control room says. Says playing just place the block on the armor. I don't know what you're talking about. He's storing. Oh, JCM gets it, doesn't he? No swears. I'm gonna swear. For the record, Zombie was actually the one to come up with that. As far as I know, I don't know why Seuss needs to know the texture resolution. You can get that through uniforms. That is true. Okay, so you can get the texture resolution through uniforms, and it's definitely more reliable way to get that information than having the player set it themselves, because the player, like, I switch the texture pack, or like I'll switch the resource pack. I don't want to go change this fucking setting to do that. But the thing is that doing it, you have to do a texture lookup to get the resolution, and it's probably not something that Sonic either A, knows about, or B, wants to deal with. So I think it's fine to have a setting, but like in a final, like if you wanted to make a perfect shader pack, you'd obviously not have to deal with that. But that's interesting that Zombie came up with that, because then I guess everything I said about Sonic Ether, a good portion of that credit goes to Zombie. Zombie was also a smart guy, but he never, like, I guess he's kind of like me, like he never released, or I don't know. The thing is, like, I wasn't active enough in downloading other people's shaders and like checking them out. But Zombie also seemed like a guy who would sort of make a tech demo shader pack, but like it wasn't that good for anything else. But yeah, Soul Shot showed up. Isn't this what Sethling did with Redstone and armor stance? I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't really keep up with Sethling. But like his wheelhouse has not been anything to do with shaders, so I don't know how that would have to do with this. If you need a source for this stuff, I can give you an invite to VXPT JCM. I don't know what that is, but sure, go ahead, so I can at least figure out what it is and if it's something I'll be interested in. I was a huge fan of Acid Interstate V2. You do great work. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. But so here we've got some interesting stuff. As you can see, the border of the the three-dimensional data structure that Sonic Ether is using to store stuff, and so it hits a wall, and then everything past that wall is just sort of extruded out and sort of follows you. One thing I don't understand is why the reflections in the water are so yellow. I don't know if this is a bug or because like the lighting is supposed to come from the sunlight, and there's something hasn't been set up or I'm doing something wrong. But yeah. Zombie's Path Tracer? Is it? Okay, JCM. So it sounds like Zombie was actually maybe the one who came up with some of this stuff then. Because I remember Sylvia and Sergeant Sarcasm, who, if you know the Minecraft, so in the Minecraft shader community, there was a big server called, I don't remember, it's Shader Labs or something. Yeah, Shader Labs. And so this is like kind of at least a big part of, or like I have a lot of history back there, especially, I don't know, I don't want to get into it right now, but Sylvia and Sergeant Sarcasm are two shader developers who I know at least a year ago they had a path tracer that is similar to, I mean, it was pretty bad, but it was sort of the same thing that Sonic Ether has had back then. And they probably got some ideas from him. It's getting confusing now. I don't know. So at this point, then I don't know how many ideas that I was thinking Sonic Ether came up with. I don't know how many he did come up with. But like I would still believe that he came up with most of the ideas, and then people sort of copied him. Well, not copied him, but like saw what he did, and then thought like, okay, if this is possible, like we have to think about how it's possible, and then they yeah, that sort of seems to be how things work, because like Sonic Ether is not a super talkative guy. He doesn't go and make tutorials on how to do path tracing in Minecraft. But the way that he has pushed, like things seem to get pushed forward, is when somebody has a crazy idea for an effect that they can do, and then they figure it out, and then other people who might have heard about that effect before, or maybe even thought of it themselves, previously they would have just thought like, well, that must be impossible then. I can't think of how to do it. And then if they see somebody else actually do it, they'll put the serious thought necessary into the problem of figuring out how to do that. Because now they know that there's an answer out there. If they just like spend enough time on it, they know that it is possible, and they can figure it out. Okay. So a lot of the early voxel stuff, you were just using vertex shaders. However, Zombie was the first one to do it in geometry shaders, and Molly borrowed Zombies. Okay, so geometry shaders, the only thing that I know that Sonic Ether is doing with geometry shaders right now is this really clever idea to duplicate the geometry, so that even though it's using the shadow map to render the path traced light, he's also able to render these regular shadows from the shadow map. And then he's doing that by duplicating geometry in a geometry shader for the shadow pass. So I don't know who was in the middle of a bunch of public drama, maybe talking about Zombie and Sylvia or Molly or whatever, because they sure got up to a lot of stuff. Seuss is different in how it lays the voxels and shadow map together compared to Zombies. Okay, that's believable. To be honest, the way that Seuss lays out the voxels is the same way that like when I heard about this idea, is like that's just like the first thing I thought of, and like my path tracer, that's how I'm doing it too. So I wouldn't say that that's like I mean, as soon as like you see it's possible, that's like the first way that you would come up with to do it. And I can imagine there are better ways to do it, but sort of too complicated, and I don't know if they'll have a general improvement. So that's why geometry shaders are a thing. Sonic Ether asked for them specifically for this reason. That is definitely that's one thing that Optifine has always been. Like you have to have a good reason to ask to get something when you ask the guy who makes Optifine to implement something. One thing that has been very satisfying to me has been watching like years ago when I was more active in shaders. I had a lot of requests for like sort of little bits and bobs, little odds and ends to add to Optifine to make the shader, or like to make the shader stuff a lot nicer. And sometimes like the Optifine guy would look at it and say like either like I don't think this is a good idea, or I don't really, or like he'll put it on a to-do list and it won't happen for a year, and you sort of give up. But it has been satisfying after I sort of stopped working on shaders that much to come back and see that most of the things that I requested a long time ago ended up like getting implemented. So it's like in that way, I just feel like I was ahead of my time, or like I was I was making good suggestions. People just maybe like weren't sophisticated enough to understand how useful that stuff would be. But yeah, like stuff like having Optifine recognize shader packs that are structured as if you had just downloaded them from GitHub, like someone who like how everyone like if you have someone who's not a programmer and they want to download a shader pack that's only on GitHub, like they're not gonna know that you have to like unzip it and then like change the folder structure slightly and then it'll work. So back like years ago, I said to Optifine, or like I posted, like you should just support multiple different folder structures. Like you should just have Optifine be able to recognize if a shader pack has the folder structure from GitHub and then like work, because like no matter what, no matter how like clear you try to make your instructions, like people are gonna like you're gonna keep having tons and tons of people who don't know what they're doing or don't care to like spend a little bit longer or just get confused. And like why don't like we can support both types of folder structures and it's not gonna hurt anything. So why don't we just do it? And Optifine was like, I mean they should like you shouldn't just download code from GitHub and then try to run it. That's not the way to do it. And it's like the point is, you're correct. That's not the way to do it, but like that's the way a lot of people are doing it. So we should just support it anyway. Yeah, yeah. JCM. What is your username on SLabs? Are you Jams or something? I don't know. Your name seems like Jams Doge or whatever that guy was. Because I probably know you, but I don't remember. Yeah, yeah. It was a pain in the ass to explain to people. But geometry shaders also make the voxels a little bit more manageable. That's something I should look into right now, because right now the way that my voxels are laid out is very literally what. Okay, let me explain how I've got the voxel map working. So we basically, let's say that we're looking at this block, and we want to make sure that the way my voxel map works is it's just like a top-down view of everything, and like we have different slices like laid out side to side. So if you can imagine, we want to just make sure that every block has vertices that are facing straight up. And so the way that I do that is for every block, well, the top face doesn't need to change. I take all four faces on the side and just like rotate them so they're facing up, and then this is a 90-degree rotation. And then the bottom vertex, I also just have it rotate about the center of the block, or around the center of the block. I have it rotate 180 degrees so that its vertex is facing up, and I do that for all the blocks. It's kind of like that's a weird ass thing to do, but it's the best thing that I knew how to do at the time. So I imagine now with geometry shaders, it's probably a really elegant way to do that. Yeah. JCM is Jake Mitchie. Okay, so he's been around for a long time. I know him. Yeah. Jake's the new guy. Jake Mitchie is not a new guy. He's been around forever, hasn't he? Maybe a new guy in like Continuum or something, but at least I've seen him on the Shader Lab server for a long time, I think. Yeah. This is nice. I got all my friends. Yeah. Yeah, but the development of I don't know. I don't know if I should feel ashamed that like I'm a Minecraft shader historian, or that I've been in this community so long that like I've been able to follow and see stuff and ideas develop. But it is kind of, I guess it's just like any other subculture, and I've been around enough to watch things happen. But that's kind of, I don't know. It's been sweet. Horblix asks, I really enjoy your vids. How long until the next one? If you watched the last live stream, I sort of talked about it a tiny bit, but the gist is like I don't know. I'm just trying to work on whatever I enjoy, so that like because that's the only way that work gets done is if I'm enjoying it. I would love to make a new video, but like I don't know when it's gonna happen. Yeah. Been looking at my screen a lot. I should look at you guys in the eye, shouldn't I? The big thing with this is that it really has always been possible. That is so true. Holy shit! Like that's one thing that like was a bit irritating about Sonic Either, is because he would implement a new feature and then if like in some cases, like it'd be something like really big. Like no one could have imagined that. But like he also did it with just the tools that were available to him already. Like he didn't need to ask Optifine to like path tracing. You don't need to ask Optifine to add anything. Since we've got the shadow map, the colored shadow map from back when we added reflective shadow maps, like that's all you need to do this. So it's like kind of like, oh shit, like if somebody had just believed in themselves and like been more creative, then they would have come up with it before, or come up with it before Sonic either. And maybe Zombie did, maybe Sylvia did. I'm not sure the way that it sounds, but yeah. But like we could have had this like 4 years ago then, which is pretty interesting. Even with 1.13 compatibility, when 1.13 compatibility is not Eben's problem, that's Optifine's problem, I think, because Optifine and Forge are incompatible. I don't know, because if you can install Optifine on its own, you should be able to run Eben. But if there's something causing it to be incompatible, I can't imagine going and like trying to. Maybe the problem with Eben, it might not even be an incompatibility. It may just be that the most recent version on GitHub is broken because I was reformatting it and then I stopped working on it, so it's like broken. Seuss path traced block shadows when. I mean, here, check it out. I got some shadows in my thing right now. They're hard shadows, and 1 second. Let's see. Just put this over here. So in Vignette, it sounds like even you have a more, you got some path tracing developed already. But yeah, this is what my thing looks like. So we've got clean hard shadows. They're pretty robust. They work most of the time. Yeah. It doesn't work for non-opaque blocks. So if I put down this flower, it's not going to do anything. But I don't know if that's a problem or if that's something I care about or want to deal with. Soulshot is asking us to help make Continuum 2.1 as fast as even. I don't know if I'm ever gonna have the time or the motivation to work on that, because like the thing about Continuum and working on Continuum and stuff is like I didn't really, I don't know, like I kind of have gotten out of that phase where I want to like work on like clean up shader packs, because it's like cleaning dirty diapers, which is an expression that I've used a lot in the past just to refer to like working with other people's code. But there was a long time period where it seemed like I could like, because Continuum makes money, and so it sounded like I could just be like a consultant basically and just get paid to do that, which is something that I would be happy to do. But the problem then was that like I never could get like a set of instructions or like a task, like a specific task that someone would need done that I would get paid for. So it was never obvious, like, am I going to get paid for what in particular? Like, at what point do I say, okay, I did the job, like, pay me right now? And also, like, then I just like I never had like a task, so I could never like sit down and be like, okay, I need to get this done today. It was just like make it faster. Well, shit, like I don't know how. I mean, like that's something that if that's the only instruction you give, then I'm only gonna make it faster if I'm curious and go and start looking around the shader pack. But like, I'm not curious about Continuum. I know that it's just slow because like it's based on Sonic Ether's base code, which obviously was probably like shitty in the first place, and then like a bunch of people like, I don't remember who the original guy who started Continuum was, but like he didn't know how to program, and if he watched this, he wouldn't be insulted. He like admitted it too. He was just like interested in adding more effects to Sonic Ether's shader. So like it's just like a crappy base that was like messy code with like more features like cobbled on top by people who didn't really know what they were doing. So like that's the reason why it was slow. And like optimizing stuff is fun when you're like doing something new that you feel like has never been done before. But like if it's just like cleaning someone's ass, that's not interesting. I would only do that if I was being paid, and that was sort of like seemed like a dream. So yeah. VXPT tried to set up custom models without bounding boxes. FPS was slashed by a factor of 3. I still don't know what VXPT is. Maybe that's a shader or something. I don't know. I can probably work something like that out with you, Bruce. So Soulshot is now offering to maybe have me be a real employee, which would be fun. Zombie said hard coding the bounding boxes with the shader. Bruce is stuck in 2016. MC Hawks, read the chat, lol. Okay, guys, if you disagree, if I'm saying something like hella ignorant or like that you disagree with, that's cool. Like I haven't been interested and active in the shader community since at least like the middle of 2017. So please feel free to correct me. And I do have a 30-second stream delay. That's one thing. That's another thing to remember. But like if I say something incorrect, just like explain it to me. I'm happy to like I understand that like I don't know everything, but like this is just I'm just giving the like view of shit that I have based on when I was around and how it seemed like things developed when I left. Yeah. VXPT is Zombie's Path Tracer. Okay. Okay, so it's basically an offline path tracer. Okay, here's a question for you guys in the chat. Which came first? Sonic either getting the idea for a path trace shader and like posting pictures about it, or Zombie doing it himself? Like who had the idea first and who realized it was possible first? Okay, that's like who was the genius? That's what I want to know. Much faster than checking every blog. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I should change the stream settings to be a lower delay, but I don't know. There's like a baby option that's just like make it faster, but I don't know if that's real. I don't think I can change it now that the stream is already running, so I'll have to worry about that next time then. Okay. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, you can do block. Wait, so with path tracing, Zombie came out just a bit after the original P-Trace? Well, okay, but like P-Trace, okay, so MC Hawks, if that's the case, then it really was Sonic Ether who came up with everything then. Because like P-Trace was just because Sonic Ether started posting stuff on Twitter, and then I thought about like, how is that possible? And like I just got the idea from him. So, okay, so if that is the case, then like, I respect Zombie for doing, like, trying to develop it, but like, that means that Sonic Ether still came up with all the ideas. So yeah, I gotta sort out the respect. Okay, who's gonna get mad respect from me? And it sounds like it's Sonic Ether. EXPT was the first available one. Okay, that being the first available thing isn't like a virtue. Like that probably just means maybe Zombie is a harder worker or like a faster worker than Sonic Ether. But like it was probably just not that good then. Sonic Ether has taken a year to since our first posting about this, and his shader is still not good. So both sort of had their own moments of genius. I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that like Zombie, like at least with P-Trace, like I've only gotten a few ideas from Sonic Ether, and then most of the rest of it has just been me like figuring stuff out on my own, which has been incredibly enjoyable. Like working on P-Trace is more fun than just about anything else because like I do have to like solve my own problems, which is like so fun, and I don't know. I feel like it's a gift when people like Sonic Ether come up or like do something like that. It's a gift to the world that they give. Like these problems for other people to solve is really wonderful. If I had 20, let's see. Is that Essie had voxels, but Zombie came up with the texture coordinate system? Okay, so there were two distinct genius things that happened, and it sounds like Sonic Ether really came up with one, and then Zombie came up with another. So then I guess, I don't know, but this texture coordinate thing is so fucking smart. Like, holy shit. Man, like, oh. Imagine coming up with that, like how that must have felt for Zombie when he thought like, oh, like yeah, like dude, we can get like we can get like all of the block like texture information in the data structure. We just have to store the texture coordinate. Like imagine that. That's nuts. If I had 20K per month for my shader things would also be different. Yeah. I mean I don't know. 20K for a shader and it's not that good. Sonic Ether like should probably work full time on this, but there's also a good chance that like after things calm down, his Patreon numbers are gonna go down. So like if I was Sonic Ether, I wouldn't like go quit my job or anything because I wouldn't feel safe doing that. But man, like dude's got to learn how to polish a shader. For fuck's sake. the way that I learned how to like program and like learned everything I know about shaders was just because SUSE version 10.1 was when I got my computer SUSE v 10.1. That was like the thing that was public, and the thing that was out, and like I'd sort of like I wanted to make it a little bit faster to run on my computer, and like I wanted to fix like some lighting issues for like regular play, and so as I was doing that, I realized that like a lot of the stuff that he did, there was a lot of messy code, and so I just decided like, okay, I'll try to like clean up everything to the best of my ability. And I started out not knowing how to program, and finished, or I didn't finish, but like that's just it. That's all I did to learn how to program, was just do that. And so now I'm a GLSL whiz or something. I don't know. I think he's been Patreon only for at least a few months, so he has quit his job then. Okay, that's cool. That's like a success story, but I don't know if I would ever be comfortable enough to do that. I don't have a job yet, so yeah. It'll drop quickly in the next few months. That's a little bit presumptuous to say, oh, it definitely will, but like, it definitely will, because I mean, 2,000 Patreons is like, dude, most of that is because publications like NVIDIA's Twitter are posted his shader so that they could market their card, but like that's not a real reason to post. Like, it is cool, it is like really genius, but like the actual shader is not that usable. So at least that's what I don't know. That's what I think. But you should, if you don't let this stop me, or don't let me stop you from going and supporting Sonic either on Twitter or on Patreon. Because if anything, the point is that you should go support him on Patreon because he is a genius and he deserves the support. And this is like a cool thing to play around with. And especially if you wanted to learn, if you wanted to learn GLSL, I would say maybe the last few versions of Sonic either, unfortunately, are not a good base for that, just because he's obfuscated stuff, and things have sort of gotten too complicated to do that with. But if you want to learn how to program shaders, I would recommend going and downloading like SUSE 10.2 or 10.1, because that's especially 10.1 was a pretty tight shader. Like, things were pretty well put together, pretty complete, and it's a good, like, it has a lot of messy code that you can mess around with and try to fix. He was barely at 5K a month before the first tweet kicked off, so his Patreon grew 4 times because of the hype. Yeah, that doesn't sound very sustainable, but if he was at 5K before, even though he wasn't releasing anything, that's still promising. You know, I wonder what it's like what happens on Patreon if you just stop being active for a while. Like, it seems like Sonic either did. Because I imagine if I ever start a Patreon, then I feel like I probably will have some period where just like I'm not doing anything for months, and I don't want to shut the Patreon down, but like I don't know how I would feel if I still was making money, and I feel like at least half of the people would not leave even if I was completely inactive, because I'm supporting a few people on Patreon, and it's just like, even if they don't post anything, even if they're not active on whatever project I'm supporting them for, I would probably still keep supporting them, because like it's too much work to turn it off, and I don't want to feel like I'm just paying them for the work. I enjoy the thought of like just supporting them because they are cool. Yeah. All right, best videos. Thanks. What are we at? 10 people. Okay. It was 2K before it. Okay. So, back to what we were looking at. So this is the shader. And let me look through some code. Okay. So, this is sort of an educational thing, but so to do this this ray tracing thing, it's, if you want to make code faster, you got to sort of look at what's, I don't know, of course you have to look at what's going on. So let me just do that. So to do this ray tracer, we have this t variable, or like it's mainly this voxel mark function, which the core of it is just this while loop, which is very, very simple. So this is a pretty fast thing to do. So we have a little bit of math here. This function is pretty quick. I'll show it up here. This fmin function is just like a tiny bit of math. It's got a few clamp or saturates, which are pretty fast. And then we've got some mad instructions. The main killer, I think, is this function and this function over here, this lookup function. So this lookup function is if we look at it, this takes a position in three-dimensional space and then converts it into a position on the shadow map and then looks it up. Okay, so we're not going to be able to make the lookup any faster because that's sort of like you can't do anything about that. But what about all this other math that's setting it up? This is something that we can definitely optimize. And so I'm imagining when this ray trace is done, like this voxel march is going to be so fast. It's going to be like something really like a dream. Check my DMs. I tried to clarify some stuff we talked about. Okay, I'll check them right now. Can someone just confirm if I check my DMs on Discord? I have Discord over here in the bottom right corner. Nobody can see it on the stream because I have the my video open. If Soulshot or someone could just confirm that in the chat before I go and look at your message, that'd be sweet. Yeah. Because that would be nice, because then I could have private conversations on stream. Okay, back to this ray tracing function. So we do some math. This is one thing that I do. I want to rewrite all this code to not use an fmin function at all and have some sort of weird like voxel stepping, but I'm not sure how to do that. I just feel like there's a faster way to do it that's out there. Basically perfectly lined up with your face cam. No, you guys can't see it. Okay, I'm checking my private messages right now. Okay. Just gonna read your message out loud on the stream. Can't quite figure out how to make it 12% faster, which is what you guys want to do. Okay, so Soulshot, the thing that's I'm gonna do real business negotiations that should just be between us. I'll do them right here. Okay. There doesn't have to be anything shady or embarrassing about getting paid for developing Minecraft shaders. Okay, Continuum, we sell it. Okay, and Continuum is a company. I'm happy to work on it, but like I need to feel like I'm working on jobs and getting paid for them, so I know what I need to do to get paid. Because that's like, without that, I'm not gonna do stuff. That's it. Yeah. Pretty simple. I just need I've told this to people like multiple times. Like, if you give me a concrete task that like it's obvious when, like I'll know like when I've done it. Like it'll be the kind of thing where like once it's done, I'll know that it's done, and I'll come say, okay, I did the job. Okay, if you give me something like that, and I know that sounds like really easy to do, like that will get me to work. But anything less than that, I can't. I won't do anything. Yeah. Somebody's pinging me from the Continuum Discord. I wonder if it's a support or maybe somebody who's pinging me now. I'm not sure. Okay, that's understandable. Cool. Yeah. Now that I'm like basically gonna have a job in the summer, I'm starting to realize like business doesn't need to be like making money online doesn't need to be a magical thing. Everybody makes money in real life, or they're like homeless. So, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So this voxel traversal thing is actually a very interesting problem. So we have this technique called DDA something or other. DDA, you can see this word here, is something like discrete something. Okay, and the point is that if you have a grid made out of these squares, or it could be 3D cubes or something, okay, and you have a line, for example, this line that's going to march, or like going to pass through all of these cubes, you want it to, you want something that triggers, or you want to know exactly which cubes it's going through and in what order. So we want to know that this line passes through the cubes A, B, C, D, E, F, G in that order. Okay. Now, the thing is, For example, this paper presents a method to do this which they say is fast, but is not fast. This is slow as hell on any GPU. Okay, first we've got a condition here and a condition here, and then there's maybe like a multiply or something in here. And they say that that is the cost of this algorithm is two comparisons. But like obviously, I don't know when this, maybe this was written 100 years ago and GPUs weren't around. Probably this is written for like a CPU algorithm. But like these conditions are extremely costly. And especially because you actually have 4 of them, like this whole thing is branches. Like this is awful. And so I wrote one. My implementation of this is a lot lighter, I would say. For example, I would have, this is what I would use to implement this these sort of conditions. And then I worked out all the rest of the code to not need conditions. It just uses multiplication of negative numbers and things like that. But I'm thinking, I feel like there's a magical way to deal with this, because right now what we have is something like, in order to move in the correct order, let's say that we start here. What the algorithm really needs to do is step right and step up, step right, step right, step right, step up, step right, step right, and so each operation is just like move exactly 1 unit in one of 3 directions. Okay, and the way that it decides which direction to move in is based on we have a metric which says like which direction are we closest to stepping, or like which edge, which direction is the nearest edge in. Okay, and each time we step, that's going to change. That might change or it might not, but we keep track of that with just like a vec3. But I'm thinking like I'm over here like, you know, we have a vector processor. Would it be possible to handle like the next 4 steps like at once? And I don't know. That's a great question. Let me check the chat. I'm blocking the paper where I'm showing stuff. Oof. Yikes. That sucks. Okay. I'm sorry if I was pointing to stuff on the lower edge of the paper. I'll keep it on the top of the screen now, so my face isn't covering it. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm so sorry to the stream. But yeah, just to reiterate or go over that again, this DDA algorithm, we step through this. We want to hit each cube in the right order, and I think part of this was on screen before, but I'm sorry about that. Okay. Something. So another optimization. This was for something completely different, but another optimization that I was thinking about a long time ago, that I kind of want to talk about right now for some reason, is has to do with 3D volumetric clouds. Let me see if I have. I hope there's nothing embarrassing on my desktop that's gonna suck. Let's see. Shit. Maybe it's in here. No, it's not here. Where's my Minecraft folder? Oh, it's here. Okay, so let me just look through my old screenshots. Alright, so here are some clouds. Things are looking pretty weird with these clouds. But a long time ago, I was trying to figure out how can we take these clouds to the next level? How can we make them like twice as fast? And so let me think. So the way that these clouds are marched through, I didn't realize that I was probably blocking part of these pictures, but so these clouds are built in layers, like onions. So I wonder if I have a good picture of this kind of phenomenon. Okay, so here's some clouds right here. If we get paint open. The deal with rendering clouds is, let's say that we have the viewer down here, and this is going to be a little eye, a beautiful little eye, and he's got some eyelashes. Okay, and he's looking up at these. Let's see, let's make them like blue or something. Okay, we've got these clouds, and this little guy down here is like looking at these clouds with his view rays. He's got view rays. Okay, and so the way that we render clouds in 3D is we just have this ray enter the volume, and then at each point, like every so often, we're gonna check. And I'm marking these points with little lines. Every so often, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna check like is this line in a cloud? Okay, is this line in a cloud? Yeah, apparently so. But for GPUs, we start to run into issues because we have situations where, like, let's say that there are going to be two of these rays right next to each other. So there's going to be this ray, and then there's going to be a second ray right next to it that's actually going to hit the cloud. And so these two rays, because they're very close together, are going to be rendered on one warp on your GPU, which means that they have to be doing exactly the same code at the same time. And if they're not, it's going to be pretty slow. Your GPU will be able to figure this situation out, but and it'll look correct. It'll look how you would expect, but it's going to be pretty slow. And so I was thinking, like, well, as soon as this guy hits the cloud, it's got to do some calculations to figure out what the cloud looks like, and that's expensive. Okay, and as this guy is not hitting the cloud, and he continues walking, like, he's got to do some calculations too, and those are pretty expensive. So that's two different sets of expensive computations, and in this situation, we have to do both of them separately. Now, this is called branching, this issue where these close together pixels have to do the same thing. That's called branching. So what if we could make the math that's going on, what if we could unify it so that the computational things that you're doing to render this hit cloud here are the same as the computational things that you're doing to continue marching through a mist cloud, okay, or to continue marching when you have not hit any cloud at all. And so my crazy idea was, like, can we decompose both of these sort of subroutines in such a way that they are at the lowest level, at the instruction level, doing the same things. And so the way that we would do that is maybe we would find a way so that to do this thing over here, all that we would need to do is like some multiply and add instructions in some order. And then we would figure out that to do this, we also just need to do some multiply and add instructions in some order. And then can we like fudge things together so that they're actually doing exactly the same thing? And I don't think it's possible in this case because I spent so long thinking about it and sort of didn't get very far. But like, if it was possible, that is like life-endingly so cool. That's like the most beautiful optimization. One second, let me check how things are going in the chat. So there's this thing called Euler's identity or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, Euler's identity. So this is some shit where e to the pi I plus 1 equals 0. I don't know why. I haven't done any complex analysis, so I don't know what the point is. But it is considered to be an exemplar of mathematical beauty. Okay, and there's other stuff on this page about how they did like a brain scan on mathematicians when they showed them this identity, and they were like these mathematicians thought that like this, like just seeing like this is more beautiful than any woman could possibly be, is this identity. And so that's, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm that far gone, but like that kind of feeling is what I get when I think about if this optimization was possible, and like if I pulled it off, like, oh God, that'd be so incredible. Oh. But I don't know if at this point I seem a little bit unusual, or like this is a weird thing to get so excited about. This is the kind of excitement that will make you truly a good computer scientist, and make you like enjoy the act of doing computer science, because there's a lot of stuff about computer science that is not fun whatsoever, and unless you have what I call beautiful moments with computer science, and that's moments where like this, where you either do something or you discover something or you think about discovering something, um, like so elegant or so wonderful that it makes you feel warm inside. If you don't have that, I think that you're gonna have a really hard time if you're like a computer science, like if you're a first year computer science student and like you're learning Python and you don't know anything and you haven't like had this experience to like lead you to computer science. You're doing it because your high school professor said that like it was the highest paying job right now. Then like you're gonna have a bad time. Talk to me, guys. I need some people. I need some help. I need like I'm going into space without anyone to talk to. Please. hmm. We got any messages? This is really, so the Continuum guys are messaging me that they really need this shader to be 12.5% faster, and I don't know why, because honestly, that's an arbitrary number. The shader's already pretty slow, if I remember. Maybe they made it faster, but like 12% is not gonna make it a good shader. It's way too slow anyway. But the other thing is like I bet if I had written the shader myself, it would be twice as fast. So yeah, but that entails a lot. That would probably be like months and months and months of work to do that. Okay. What is ptrace currently looking like? I'll show you, MC Hawks. So this is it. Let me see. Let me get a little. I can confirm if you find beauty. If you can't find beauty in math, you're not gonna like CS. That's a good point. And like I'm sure you can do it. Like a lot of people do CS and they don't like really enjoy it for these deep reasons that I'll talk about. That sounds kind of pretentious, but I mean I don't know. I'm sure that they'll find happiness somehow. But like it's just like I guess I'm not that kind of person, so I'm not really gonna get it. What do I want to show? I don't know. Shit. I want to show MC Hawks how things are looking. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. I mean, this is what the data looks like. If we go and touch stuff, we won't have any problems like before, which was a big issue. So at least the data structure seems tight, solid, tight, and also looks like the function that searches through it is doing pretty well. It's not sort of it doesn't seem to have any bugs anymore. And then if we look, we can get some. I've used it to render hard shadows, but anything beyond that, any more complicated lighting effects, I haven't done, and I don't know if I want to do them because it's a lot of stuff to deal with. But that, I guess if I don't do anything else, then it's going to be pretty like pathetic. Yeah. Let me calm down for a second. Getting some more messages right now. I guess Continuum 2.1 is some sort of overhaul or something, but Continuum is always being overhauled. Oh, so it's a base for shaders, and they're gonna build different. They're gonna write different shaders with the base. What is the project? Great question, Layden. So the project is, let's see. This is how I'm gonna introduce it from now on. So Sonic Ether is over here, like posting these photos on Twitter of his new shit, and they look good in the screenshots. But if you download the shader, it's a bit of a disappointment, and it's pretty slow. I think unnecessarily so. So I want to basically write my own path trace shader that looks. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to look as good as this, but in concept, it will be doing the same thing at a similar level of quality, and I want it to be a lot faster, and I think that's possible. Yeah, that's my goal. Yeah. What's up with the skybox? That's a good point, Joe. So the skybox is. What is going on with the skybox? Well, it looks like it's whatever. So let's say that there's pixels up at the top of the screen, and then we scroll up until the sky is visible. Now the sky doesn't have anything rendering it there. It's actually being what is called the pixels are being discarded, so they're being completely ignored. They're not even being flushed to be like white or black or anything. They're just like left completely alone. So it looks like if there's a pixel, and then you like move your view and it becomes sky, then whatever the pixel was is just sort of left there. And so that's why we have this weird pattern when we look up. It's like pixels becoming the sky and then sort of creating these streak effects. And that's what happened in the source engine too, so that's why it looks exactly the same. Shit. I'm gonna die. Should pull out a script for any time someone asks what ptrace is. Yeah, I should just write something in the description box of these live streams to tell people the basic stuff, like when is the next video coming out. Yo, what's the next video? Excited for the next video. What do I want to work on? Cleaning my nose is a first. Oh, that's good. Let's see. Yeah, I really want to make this ray tracing faster. But the thing that I'm worried about is this code over here, because I think that later I'm going to want to change this. So if I optimize it right now, I'm not going to be able to change it later. But it's sort of all that I'm thinking about. So maybe I should work on it right now. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So let's see. This is doing a little bit of stuff. I'm just going to make a new lookup function. I'm going to give it an offset. And then replace this with. If, for example, here, let me show you something interesting, which is the frame rate that I'm getting from this. Let's see. So I'm getting about 260 frames with this ray trace on, and if I bring this bounds check in, which is not active at all, you can see the frame rate drops down to 220. So just this line right here is a big eater. This takes a lot of performance because this lookup. Remember, this is being called inside of a loop. Basically, the main ray trace loop is calling this lookup. And so if we're checking the bounds on every iteration, it's pretty slow, and it's unnecessary too because we can do math before the ray trace even starts to figure out exactly how many steps it's going to take before we're outside of the volume. That's the kind of thing that makes a shader faster, is stuff like that. If you like pre-check or like do math beforehand so that you don't have to do math later, stuff like that. You stole fizzy lipsticks. I don't know what the hell that person is talking about. So first we could do these down here. And then we can string all of these lines together into one. Well, it looks like position.x plus equals this tile width times, well, this is positive, minus offset minus 1. And then we can do the same thing for the E. And I think this time it's going to be something like this. I did this earlier in the day, so that's why I'm sort of redoing the work that I did before. So in this case, we want offset to be positive and this 1 to be positive. And then if we comment out all these lines, we can check, and it should be exactly the same as what he's doing right now. And it's not, so something is all messed up. It's probably this line doing something. Okay, so things are functioning exactly the same. Then I think we can string the next couple lines into one thing. So we're gonna, instead of doing all this stuff, we're gonna comment this out, and we're gonna say something like, comment this one out too, times mult, and then it's gonna be plus 0.5. So what is mult gonna be? Well, it's gonna be different for both of them. I think it's, we want to do this -1 thing here. We want to divide by this thing. So we did that, we did that. We want to keep, oh no, leave that. Then we want to divide by this as well. Then we want to multiply by this 0.5. And then it's going to look like that there. Come on. The fuck? 89. Line 89 is where the problem is. I don't see anything wrong with this. Narrowing. Oh. Okay, we're back to normal. Mult is a float. Oh, thank you, Vinyah. You got it right at the same time that I did. Nice. Perfect. So we're doing this. I could probably combine these lines together. So this needs to be multiplied by mult, and then added to into the final result. So the thing is, like, we do this, and we don't need to do this. I don't. So that's what I'm going to do first. Actually, is we do this shit in here, and we don't need to, because what we can do instead is we can modify this lookup position first, so that basically what's going on. So what's going on here? So every time we do a texture lookup on this grid, pretend that this grid is the shadow map, and we're doing texture lookups in here. So there's hardware filtering on And the fastest way to disable it is just to avoid it. And so that means that doing all of our texture lookups in the center of these squares. So let's say that we do a texture lookup for right here. We want the texture lookup function to snap our pixel into here. And that's what it's doing right now. But the faster way to do that is instead, before we start the loop, let's say that we start here and this is slightly off center. The faster way to do is just like take the position that we're consistently using to do the lookup and like snap it to the center first, and then like the ray march itself will always just like step to the right by one, step up by one, step to the right. And so if we're in the center of the cube, we'll stay there because the way that we step is just in increments of one unit in any direction. It has no direction of its own. So what that really means is, well, we do this offset. Oh man. So tile width, for example, because if these are all integers, that's going to make my life a lot easier. So if this is 128, well, this is going to be 256. Just square root, I don't remember. Yeah, that's a clean one. So this is going to be an integer. So will this. So will this. So will. Okay, so offset is something 0.5, and this is a 1. So this is still something 0.5, and then this. That's a good question. I don't know what this is. Oh shit. Well, okay, what happens if position .x changes by 1? That's the question that we need to be asking. Well, this has nothing to do with that. It's doing an addition. This looks like the only important relevant thing is this guy over here, because we're doing a multiplication. So that offset, if we offset by 1 unit, the only difference in the algorithm is that we're going to multiply that unit by this mole value. And that's something that we know, that's a constant. So we do that, and then we have to snap to the center. But if we're already on the center, then we move by molt. Is that still going to be on the center? I don't think so. Demon Shadow says, "Hey Daddy." I don't remember who Demon Shadow is, but I think he was some guy who talked to me on Discord a long time ago, and we were sort of like buddies. I don't quite remember though. I don't get it. No, I don't get it. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Can you use Vignette in here with the great fucking questions? Okay, Vignette. This is how fans should engage with me. Okay, this is my language. Okay, Vignette is over here speaking my fucking language. Okay, can't you use text effects instead? That's a great question, Vignette. Okay, the answer is yes, you can, but it's slower. Okay, let me fix this. Yeah, it's a bit slower. And so the fastest way is just before you do your texture lookup, you take your coordinate and you do this, and this will snap it to the center of whatever pixel it was in, and then you do your texture look. So doing this and then doing a regular texture lookup is faster than using texel fetch. I swear. Yeah. Because I was using texel fetch before and it was slow. Not that much slower, but just a little bit. And that's the kind of thing that's important. What happens if y changes by 1? By 1.0? This will change by exactly 1. This is a mod. I don't remember how a mod works. Let me look up mod again. X minus y times the floor of x over y. Coup mod 1 is still 0, I think, right? So if x is 2 and y is 1, so it's going to be 2 minus the floor 2 over 1. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Yeah, okay. So mod, if we have a number on a number line, mod, and we are modding it with another number on a number line, it's going to say what increment of the second number is the first one. Okay. Wait, if we're doing mod and floor of height to x tiles, we're doing the same shit, aren't we? Yeah, we're doing the same thing. So the problem is that we got, like, on one line we're like mod x y, and on the next line we're like floor x y. Oh no, we're not. We're like floor x over y. What does mod do? Well, this is x minus y times floor x over y. And so the problem, the reason this is slower than it needs to be is because, well, we got floor x over y here, and we got floor x over y here. So we might as well compute it and store it in a variable and use it twice. Yeah, you could say I'm a genius. Let me just do that, actually. So we're going to need both these lines again. Say something like float x, big X, equals this. Okay. Then this mod is going to become, well, something like height minus x tiles times this big X that we just computed. And then it's going to be like that. Let me test that out, see if it works. Yes, it works. And then we replace this X with there. And then did that just get a little bit faster? Let's see. I bet that just got a little bit faster. So if we're hitting up to 280, down to 260, up to like 285, okay. And on this one, we're hitting a solid, goes up to 283, it goes down to 240 instead of 230, and back up to 2, oh, it's still slower though. But the lowest seems to be a little bit faster, or the same. Okay, well, I believe it's faster because I think it's a tiny bit faster. I hope so. Do you drop acid? No, I've never dropped acid. I'm sorry. I know my videos are called Acid Interstate, but I've never done acid. I'm sorry. I think I should go ahead and keep optimizing this because I think something special is going to pop out when we're done. Secret treat is going to happen. Well, I'm going to keep that like that. Oh, well, if we just add 1, it's going to get simpler. Oh, we can just add it here. 1.5. Take this away. Take this away. Okay. So in this case we have minus offset, and in this case, let's say this actually this. So we're gonna have something like this. And what if we pre-compute this? This we can pre-compute. This we cannot pre-compute. We cannot pre. This is pre-computed. This is not pre-computed. So these two are not. This is pre-computed, and so is this. X minus yz be faster as y times negative z plus x. Or does the compiler not care? In my general experience vignette, the compiler does not care about that kind of thing. I need to focus right now. Shit. So if I want to do this addition outside, we need a molt. Some kind of molt. That's what's going to happen. Let's see, vec2. then it's going to be like this. X minus offset. Let's try that. It doesn't work. Well, what if we just do Z at first, then? Or X first? Okay. So we are going to do this line still. And then we'll do that line, and then I'm going to take it away. Piece by piece. Okay. Well, because we got to multiply by tile width, so. Okay. Nope, that's not right. So we need to add tile width times that. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. So we need to invert this. What about mult? I thought mult would deal with that. I guess not. Okay. So this is getting a bit confusing. I feel like this just should be simpler. So mult 2 needs to be its own, I guess, times by 2. Cena John says hi. Hello. This is pretty bad programming practice what I'm doing over here, but I would just want to see how if it's clean later when I'm done. If I can arrive at a clean solution after a bunch of shit. Something going on with my ear right now. Okay. Just gonna turn on a little bit of music. Let's get the levels. Make sure they're okay. Yeah, that's good. I find this really relaxing. I'm glad. Yeah, if you post your SoundCloud, I'll check it out. I don't know if I'll check it out on stream right now. If I'll check it, I'll do it later, but probably later. But yeah, sure, I'll check it out. It'd be good if you had some good music on there too. Do some performance testing in here. Oh shit. I just started my move by accident. Getting 240. And if I put this outside, what happens? $241, $242. Again. 241, $242. The same. But it is the same whether we put this inside, the addition inside or outside. Hi, Danny King. Looks like that stream dropped to 0 viewers for a while. I don't know what happened. That's 20 minutes ago. Oh, never mind. No, that's just something wrong with the recording. That was weird. What song is this? It's not as good as the other ones. Just go back. Here. So I'm going to create a version of this function which just returns the position. Then over here we're going to say something like post. Oh shit. No, we do want to save the victory, don't we? couple fans in the chat. Thanks for the support, guys. Hey, so somebody just asked what song is playing in the background. It's by Glue Trip on SoundCloud. That song was Time Lapses, I think, based on when you asked. But I'm gonna go back to this one because I like it more. I really like this song. It makes me happy. So if XZ only changes by something, we're gonna want yeah. We do want to redo this. We don't need to redo this. We don't need to do this either. Somebody used a video of mine as a wallpaper. That's probably okay. Let me look it up. Put a sad face, so I'm not sure exactly what it's saying because his English wasn't perfect, but let's see. Famous Spanish YouTuber used my video. Let me just look at it and see if it's something that I would get bothered by or not. If you just use it as like a wallpaper, like an outro, I don't think I care. That's fine. Yeah, I can't find whatever Danny King is awesome is talking about. Thank you to whoever called me a beautiful man. So the white position is like what tile we're on. So we're taking the floor of the white position. So the particular value of the white position is not important. I don't think the position, the X and Z position is important. No, I don't think so. Okay, we're doing this thing. Oh my gosh. That's really weird. I think there's something going on with my ears. They're like, suddenly it feels like my eardrum is like opening up or something. It's really uncomfortable. And now I feel something dragging, which feels good. That's good. Send video name and timestamp. This is the video. What are you talking about? This is the video, and then he's posting it. He's like saying this is live stream. I don't know. I don't know what he's saying. I don't think this is counting anywhere, this optimization right now, because I sort of got sloppy after a while, and so, and I feel like it's too likely that later I'm gonna need to change the way that we're laying stuff out, or maybe I'll do it in a geometry shader, in which case this will all need to be rewritten. But the thing that I should be working on right now is getting the textures to display. That's going to be pretty cool when that happens. Let me just look at some Sonic Ether code right now while I'm still on stream. And I don't mean to do that to like show it off, but like, man, just imagine. How does this work? I don't get it. No. No. What's he putting in here? The texture chord. Some floating thing. I don't know what that is. Colorized, which is a float. So 2D texture coordinate. That's 8 bits. I'm gonna do that. It's not a lot of information. It's just coming from this thing, I think. And then over here, he's sending this information, which is probably useless. Somebody says to try Conquest Reforged and play on this server, but they're recreating the Tolkien's middleware with path trace shaders. I don't know, man. I don't really play servers that much anymore. I don't really play Minecraft that much. Just sort of like, you know, for the technical stuff at this point. Oh. Just linked the video or whatever. Someone's posting yeah. Spanish laughing. It's really funny. I remember me and my buddy, when we were PvP, we'd sit there and go, like, type yeah, because I guess that's how Hispanic people type, like, laughter. Oh, this video is like a month old. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I don't. Is this like a meme compilation or something? I don't know. But I don't see my own video in here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see my own video in here, so I don't know what the video is. It's the same. Oh, there's multiple videos. Shit. This is from 2018. Maybe it's this one. Man, this is like Spanish YouTuber stuff. Yeah, this is a bit too advanced for me. I don't know what's going on here. What the fuck? Probably just forget about it then. Dude, next video in the search. Oh, you were watching? Okay. So it was this second one. Where? The timestamp. Why didn't you just post the link to the video? Yikes. I'm determined to find whatever he's talking about now. We've got Ricardo. Where would my video be in this like turd compilation? This is like garbage content. I don't know, maybe it's funny if I turn the volume on, maybe this video is funny, I don't know. But I don't see my video. No, what are you talking about? Why did you just post on the link, dude? Oh, wait a second, it's the top one. That's the problem, is I thought this was my own video. I thought this was Acid State E3. Oh. Okay, I actually gotta watch this. This better not be something to add. This made me upset. So, but it looks like he used like 10 seconds of my video, and it's like his desktop background, and he like watches it and it's trippy. So he's like, this is fucking. So he used like a short clip, and the point is just that like it's a trippy video, and so he starts screaming in Spanish. That's funny. This is funny. I'm not worried about this. Don't worry. Saying whatever the fuck, I don't know. I took Spanish in high school and I didn't pay attention, so now I have no idea what. Yeah, even though I live in like an area with a lot of people who speak Spanish. Screaming like a child in Spanish. God, screaming like this fucking 6-year-old in Spanish. Awesome. Great reaction, dude. Oh, it's just like a video where he like tries out this application that changes his desktop background. So it's like TNT or like memes or like big titty girls or something. Oh, is my video back? Oh yeah, let's see if he's screaming at it anymore. Por favor. Por favor. Desmiénteme. Desmiente. A la verga. A la verga. Nasty. A la verga. A la verga. Estoy bien pinche. Estoy bien. What the fuck? Okay, so it's just a stupid little video. I mean, it's kind of cute actually. This is kind of fun. Oh, he's watching a bunch of my videos. Yeah. I don't know. I can't get mad at that. It's kind of fun. He's like screaming. Yeah. Usually people tell me that like, oh, like some fucking YouTuber like ripped off your video or like just pasted it in their video, and I go and watch it and it's just like. And like people come to me like I should be mad about it, but then like I go watch it and it's like they use like a couple seconds of my video in a good way, so it's like I'm happy about that, even if they didn't like put my the link in the description or anything. It doesn't really make sense for that kind of content. Did you create acid shaders? No, I didn't. Somebody else did. Have you ever tried to commercialize your videos in other ways rather than YouTube? No, Juan. I'm curious, Juan, what ways you're thinking of. Like, are you thinking of making a Patreon, or like one thing that I have been thinking about is because my YouTube channel is mostly popular for TNT ball videos, so I was thinking about doing the paid like fan thing, but mostly just so that people who watch the TNT ball videos can pay money to like be able to post TNT in the comments. I'm not sure exactly how the like perks work, but I think that would be awesome. I think I would definitely make at least a little bit of money off that, and it'd be like kind of a funny thing. Because those videos are like dog shit, but if people want that, then they can pay for that. I don't think there are many ways to commercialize acid tripping in Minecraft. Maybe not, but there are probably a few that I haven't thought about. The thing is, what I don't ever want is I don't want like to deprive people of stuff because they don't want to spend money. So like when I was young, it would have like just like ripped me apart if you had to pay for Sonic shaders back then. Like that probably on its own would have stopped me from getting into it. And so it's sort of too bad that like Sonic Aiders new stuff, like you have to pay for it. I mean, not really. Like you could just download a year-old version instead. But I've studied audio visual communication, worked at marketing, and this is something I've never seen. So what do you mean something you've never seen? Like someone like me who's just sort of like farting around on YouTube, who's got like a couple of like cool trippy videos. Probably, I mean, that makes sense, but you know. Here, I want to talk about the Fine Brothers, actually. The Fine Brothers react to me. So, one second. Okay, this is a thing that I was going back and forth with my family earlier today. So, if you don't know what me is, you should go watch it. Just search me on YouTube. But in essence, it is a video. I mean, it's like a trippy music video, but it has themes about like social isolation and like getting too deep into fandoms and like pornography and stuff. And it's a really great video. A couple of the like moments are very like well put together in terms of a music video, and generally like the message is something I appreciate. But what I don't appreciate is this Fine Brothers react to this video. So I'm just gonna turn it on and react to their video a little bit. So it starts out with this disclaimer that's supposed to make it seem like this is going to be like a mature episode, but like they chose to still watch this video even though it has mature stuff because it's thought provoking or something. So going into this, like the idea is that this react is like a real one. Like we chose to go forward with this one, knowing that like it's a little bit M-rated because like there's some deeper meaning that we're gonna get out of it. Okay. And they leave it for a full like 10 seconds, which is irritating. Let me make sure the audio levels are okay. 1 second. Yeah, they look fine. Okay. Let me just see if there's anything going on in the chat before we get started. Mimi is good, don't judge me. Vignette, you are right. Like, Mimi is art. And it's like an important piece of cultural dialogue. And so let's see what the YouTubers think, what the tubers have to say.
Another anime, really?
I'm always excited when it's anime popping up, man, because I know it's gonna be weird.
I'm in the screen. Dude's smoking something.
Fuck.
Boobs.
This is like, I don't know. At this point, okay. At this point in Me, the point that they've gotten to, nothing has developed. So I get Markiplier saying boobs, like over and over again, as irritating as it is. But like, just like Rhett and Link with their like fake fucking reactions. Rhett is over here with his like hipster beard, and Link is like the bottom in this relationship. I don't know. It's just like this moment really gets me.
Dude's smoking something.
This dude's smoking something. Shut the fuck up, Rhett. I don't know. Maybe that's Link, and I call him Rhett. That'd be funnier. Shut the fuck up, Markiplier. God.
It's gotta be weird animating that.
This is a lot different than the cartoons I used to watch as a kid.
Oh, that's a pretty good zinger. Justine is like, her reaction, her funny reaction is like, wow, that's pretty funny. We got Captain Sparkles over here.
Very voluptuous women.
Okay, part of this video, like this react video, like bothered me before, and then like I actually tried to show Me to my brother, and after doing that, I sort of get it, because like it's very awkward, and so I imagine for someone like Captain Sparkles, where you come to YouTubers React to do the episode, and then like you show up and they show you this, and like you're just on camera and everyone's gonna see, so like you don't really want to have any kind of reaction, because like you don't know how to react, because I don't know. I get if they have like a one person on their own, and so I understand like why their reaction would just be like freaked out, because they don't know what is acceptable and how to act, and like when their mom sees this, they don't know how to deal with that.
Well, string.
Those boobies are jiggling. Wow, you guys! Disgusting.
Is this gonna turn into something else? Oh, here we go. Here it is.
Ah, this is where things go weird.
Is there stuff coming out of their...
Is there stuff coming out of their woozers? Fucking like,
What is this? What are you showing me? What the f are you making me watch?
they bleep her out. Wow.
Please censor that. I hate this so much. Am I in her ass right now?
Oh, it was all a dream. No, it was. Oh,
Oh, damn.
Now there's a sexy, creepy alien in his room. That totally makes sense.
That totally makes sense. I don't know, like, yeah, I guess that just goes back to the thing of like that I just said, where like if you had to watch this video and be filmed for an episode, maybe then like that shallow like response, say like the R word, but okay, let's see what's going on in the chat just for a second. Me reaction and 100% fake. I like that. Red is the tall one, Link is the one with glasses. So I guess, okay, so Link is the one who looks like a Link. Your videos are amazing. I don't speak English, but I love your work. Sexy and creepy alien. Okay, this is some bullshit. This is the best scene, by the way.
I was not expecting this. Let me tell you, I'm thoroughly enjoying this so far.
I just have no idea what's going on. That's a nipple.
Oh, now she's crying.
Oh no, she's sad.
There's a struggle happening.
Like, I want to feel for these characters, but I'm also scared. Oh, she ate him! She ate his lower half! Oh, wait, no, it's a different girl. Oh, but she's sad. Oh, it's a different girl.
What is this, an ex-girlfriend that he's trying to remember?
They had a really bad breakup.
Oh, yikes.
She grew 4 eyes and flew away again.
Now is it over? No. Okay.
I don't know. When I watched this before, like I got more upset, but I guess the main thing that pissed me off still is just this Rhett and Link segment. Cause like
She grew 4 eyes and flew away again.
like Link's okay, so I guess like you're on an episode of YouTubers React, and so you feel like you have some obligation to have a reaction. Now we have the bearded one over here, and he like doesn't speak the whole video, and I think that's because he's comfortable with having a more authentic reaction. But Link is over here, and he's got to we got to move it along. Like they're not gonna include any of our clips if there's nothing to show. So, but then at the same time, like he doesn't have a real, genuine, interesting reaction. And I'm not saying that you should have one. Like this is more of just like you watch it and you think about it. It's not like you should be like wow, okay. But like so Link's like his react, like his YouTubers react. His commentary, his contribution to the video is just to like describe in the most shallow terms like what just happened, like what he just saw. Like even though the like Me has themes, okay, it's not deep. Like it just has themes that it beats the viewer over the head with. But like Link can't even tap into that. Okay, he can't even tap into that level of understanding. He's just like fucking repeating visual plot points. I don't know. Okay, I don't think I want to watch it anymore.
You liked the video.
No.
No, I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it.
No, no thank you.
I know that there's probably some smart.
I mean, Link with his fake reactions.
No, I didn't like it.
No, thank you.
No thank you.
I know that there's probably some smart meaning behind it, and they spend so long on it, and there's some kind of moral tale. I don't give a shit.
What's not to like? It's got all the ingredients there for a great, enjoyable video. Boobs?
Markiplier is really funny.
I love it. I always enjoy.
Okay, so I don't know who this guy is. I'm not gonna just call him the Asian guy, because Markiplier is also Asian. But I mean, I don't know. My reaction to this guy is it seems like he's like trying to grasp at some deeper meaning, but like maybe he doesn't have like the cognitive shit upstairs, or just like being on a React video is pretty distracting. So he like talks about it, but he doesn't like, I don't know, he just like kind of sounds like an idiot.
Too much porn, and you know what that happens? You die.
I'm sorry, but like, I hate her histrionics so much. They're not fun and entertaining. They're just like an annoying friend. Like I can just imagine like being in a friend group and like talking about stuff, and she consistently like doesn't really have anything to say, but she comes in with like a bit of histrionics, and it's just like everyone, like some people like pretend to laugh, but like everyone knows she's not, like this is not funny.
Because the porn ladies, they'll eat you.
This guy having an interaction with pornography that led to him having his head severed.
Okay. Like they even get it, okay? Like Link gets it, but he just like segues into a joke instead. And Rhett is fucking like dead silent because he doesn't want to like, I don't know, because he doesn't want to like be disingenuous. Let's see. Mark gets it, plus respect. It's not like these videos were ever set up for deep commentary. That's true. Okay. Okay, that's true. These aren't supposed to be deep videos. But I don't know. I'm sort of like, I'm just thinking, like clearly Acid and Interstate, none of my videos would probably ever be on an episode of Fine Bros React or the Bros React, okay? Because they're not interesting enough, they're not really notable in that kind of way. But if they were, like if there was ever a Tubers React to Acid Interstate V3, I would sue the Fine Brothers, because having my video embedded into one of these videos inside of shallow commentary like this and like pointless reactions necessarily diminishes my video as a work of art, in as much as you can even call my videos art, okay? Which I do sometimes when I'm feeling pretentious, okay? But like putting it in a React video, and for videos like me, where this is like a piece of art, to have a React video, it like fucking diminishes me as a piece of art, okay? These, and I can't say the R word, I can't say the R, shit. It's just sick. This just makes me upset. And like, this is the true content and nature of YouTube, okay? Like, what is YouTube for? It's for a lot of different things. But if we look at the things that it's most for, the things that are pulling the most numbers, it's like the most shallow and banal shit, okay? I could say something about how most of the women don't get it at all, but I honestly haven't watched enough of the video. But there's some arguments about that in the comments, and I think the point with that is like, yes, you could say that, and you can say like, I'm not being misogynistic, but like, none of the women got it, and like, it's pretty obvious, but like, none of the women got it, and I would respond to that by saying like, maybe that's true, but that's just because men and women deal with a lot of different issues. So I think it's totally possible for me to be the kind of video where just about no woman, if you showed that to them, would get it. And that's not a bad thing. That's just like, for example, if you hear about Me Too and you're a guy, you probably kind of blow it off because like you don't get it. Okay, just like women won't get me, men don't get Me Too, and it's not like a big deal. But we gotta bridge the gap. Okay. Sometimes you gotta think about what it would be like if like you were on the other side. Let's see. I'm not trying to say there's anyone want to join up realms. What are we looking at right now? I turned into a Vanessa there for a minute. Are you saying I turned into a female? Is that a compliment?
Can't get away from it.
I will sometimes choose to play video games instead of going out and interacting with real people, and you do get so consumed with that.
I want to say technology is a good thing.
That was a pretty funny reaction for some reason.
The way it's all going, but I think that technology is making it so much easier to just sit there and just scroll on your phone. When I was going
Oh shit, that's deep. Like, yo, like that's deep actually.
If I was bored, I had to go outside and find something to do, you know, or I would have to create something. Now it's like entertainment is living through someone else's cool stuff.
So finally, after talking more about this video, does it make you want to watch it again to dissect it more and show other people?
No, I'm good. I think I'm good.
Probably not, because people would think I'm a weirdo and just watched it because boobs.
I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say about this. But the Fine Brothers, I think it's funny to shit on the Fine Brothers because of the whole React thing, and I really want to like, I don't know. I really want to sue them for some reason. Like, I think it would be funny if, like, I think it would be funny if somebody. So there are people who rip off the Fine Brothers who do the same style of video, with like very thinly veiled. Like it's a different show, but like it's really the same thing. And so I understand when the Fine Brothers wanted to do the React network a long time ago, it was so they could basically like grab those people by the balls, and either incorporate them into the network and start making money off of them, or tell them to fuck off entirely and ban all their videos. And honestly, like I kind of get it, but I think it'd be funny if someone started up a React show that was sort of like based on the Fine Brothers stuff. So it was kind of a ripoff, but then they added enough of their own ideas that like when the Fine Brothers went to like got the axe out and went to go kill these guys took the Fine Brothers to court, and you know where I'm going with this, but I don't want to. Yeah. So, Horthrax says, remember when they tried to copyright reacting as a whole? I don't think they tried to do that, but I think they did try to copyright the form of the show, whereby you have a set of people from some group with like the video embed in the top right corner, or it doesn't matter, like in a corner, and then so you're showing the video and you're showing the people's reactions, and then there's a brief discussion afterwards. I feel like there were probably people who had copied that format, and the Fine Brothers were going after that. But I know that the Fine Brothers were not just going after all reaction videos, because that doesn't make any sense. And if that's what they were doing, then obviously nobody went for it anyway. Yeah. Japanese commercials. Wow, those are pretty wacky, aren't they? Elders react to Rick and Morty. Conspiracy theories. Because that anime. Let's check out the Fine Brothers channel. Yeah, like, the problem with YouTube now is that all of the big stuff is like, besides maybe PewDiePie or something, is like this. And how can you get excited about this? Like, oh, I'm excited for the new Fine Brothers video. It's like, there's millions of others, and the one that they uploaded today is the same as all of the other ones. So it's just like, YouTube used to be like a magical place where you wouldn't know when Michelle Phan was going to upload a new video, and you wouldn't know what she was going to do, so you're kind of excited about it. But now it's just like, this is just a TV show anyway. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's like the death of humanity or something. You can't appropriate human reactions yet. What kind of things are there to get excited about? T-Series. Kids react to illegal immigrations. YouTubers react to their first tweets. Man, this is bad. Let's check out what BuzzFeed is up to. This stream is now Mining God Bruce reacts to Thanos' car. Yeah, okay, so here's the video.
I'm ZT.
Troy.
We know each other a little bit.
So this is it's not loading for some reason, but this is a little video of we have some opposing sides, and they're going to have a genuine, an honest, calm, rational discussion about something. I don't really care what. But if we go and we look up the channel Cut, I think Cut does the same thing.
Is this truth or drink?
Or does Cut only do these other kinds of videos? Shit. I thought, okay, there's other, the point is that there's other YouTube channels that do exactly the same format of videos. And as a creator, that's probably got to be pretty, like, disappointing. But sometimes being a YouTuber just means getting fucked. It just means, like, someone posting your video on Facebook and getting, like, 10 times as many views as you, and they don't link your video at all, and you're just fucked. We should do a stream of Bruce rating different shaders. That's a good idea. But I don't know. There's more important stuff to talk about. Like I wonder what Shane Dawson. Shit, I can't say anything about Shane Dawson being gay or fat. That'd be kind of over the line. I will say that Shane Dawson's videos, his long form videos about stuff are actually pretty good. He's kind of, I used to think that he was just like did like stupid parody songs, but recently he's sort of turned it around, I guess. A bunch of people. I'm glad that I'm getting so many comments on my Acid Interstate videos instead of my old TNT Ball videos. You know how I feel? Yeah, I should do something productive instead of just wasting time on YouTube. I think I'm too tired for that. There you go. What is my favorite video? That's a good question. So let me go watch it or find it it's probably going to be one of these Lala Garage AMV videos. There's a couple good AMVs on YouTube, and I know all of them. I think there's 5 or 6 good AMVs on YouTube. So my favorite video, that's a toss-up between like Tan X, Gehirnsterman, and this video Ghost Audition. These are all fantastic videos, and I think I'll just cut to I'll show some of this one. Just skip to the middle a little bit. Wow. Sorry, I gotta take care of this. That's interesting. I should probably take off in a second and go to bed. But yeah, let's just watch a little bit of this video. This is one of my favorite videos. But the thing to pay attention with this is just like how every single bit of this the soundtrack is reflected in the visuals. So like even if we just cut at the beginning, like just pay attention to the audio and the visuals together. Yeah, but it's like he hits every single beat, and this video is a little bit weirder than his other AMVs, but the song is more active, and he follows it more like actively as well. So it's like this is like a couple things, including like a technical achievement to how he could like listen to the song and get it so tight. You know. Let's see. Reminds me of old acid trips, and I think I've sent it on Discord. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Ben, yet, but yeah. Let me look at some of his. These don't have like any great clips. This is a really great clip, actually. Just like a little scene in this video. It has such a great like moment. You feel so in tune with the music, and it's like such a happy scene. It's really wonderful. Second.
I need something
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Kiss suddenly alive, happiness arrived, hunger like a storm. How do I begin? A room within a room, a door behind a door. Touch, where do you lead? I need something more. Tell me what you see. I need something more.
Yeah, I mean this guy's a real artist. What he does with these videos. Yikes. Someone DM'd me. Let's see. Oh, you sent me. I think this is a Trippy anime video, but I think I've watched it before. But it's not as like it's cool, but it's just cool. It's like not like the level of these other ones. Let's see. Let me check my phone again. Yeah, there's a few, like this guy, like if you, I don't know what it feels like to watch Acid Interstate as somebody else, like as the person who, not as the person who made it, because I made it, so I don't know what it would feel like to just watch it for the first time, and like if that would be really satisfying or not. Because for me, just like it is, like I really love my own videos, and they're like I made them because they're like something that I don't know, like something really ultimate that I guess is the kind of thing that really appeals exclusively to me, and I would say that this guy Lolliger Dodge, his AMVs are something similar. It's like I guess because they're not that popular, so I feel like they're the kind of thing that only I can, or like not only I can understand it, but like they have a particular appeal to me, and the things that I care about in a video and like in a music video, and how audios and visuals are connected. Anime at 60 FPS art. It's not just anime at 60 FPS, because after Lolliger Dodge made that video, like a lot of other people started making AMVs like that, but they didn't make those other AMVs good. Like Lolliger Dodge and his 60 FPS videos, his 60 FPS anime was just a gimmick, but like his real, like the thing that really makes him good is the way that he syncs audios and visuals up together, and how he understands like the language sort of. I'm trying to think if there's any other videos that are really clean that like you guys should see. You guys should go look up Lolliger Dodge after this and like watch 3 of his AMVs. So that's Tan-X, Gehirnsturmen, and the Ghost Audition. These are his 3 like big pieces, and they're really wonderful. Maybe something like yeah, I can't think of any other ones right now. Then maybe just look up my own channel, because I remember I put them in boxes before. Recommended, yeah. So, oh yeah, Looks Minecraft had one, and I hope that he's watching right now, but he's probably not. He has one video in particular that's like fucking perfect. This one. Once again, just pay attention to how the audios and visuals are synchronized together, and how like coherent it feels. Yeah. So, the point of that video, this Minecraft video, is even though these visuals are from like 2012, and it's just a texture pack video, in Minecraft. Like, it's really not something to get excited about. And yet, when I watch this video, I feel really like it's like a dance, I think, between like what you see and what you hear. And looks Minecraft, at least for this video, like really got it. Like, for example, like. And here in this shot, like even this little dude who's walking back and forth is like hitting every beat. And then later we have like, one second. There's like things like swipe in, or they like zoom towards, and let's say that based on this song, the song doesn't dictate exactly what kind of like transition or like what motion is going to make sense for a scene, but it doesn't dictate exactly. Like, for example, you could probably like pan like this, or like pan like in or something, but the movement is somewhat restricted by the song, and if you get it right, it feels incredibly satisfying, like a good like dance or something. And this is like something that honestly I feel like this is something that I don't know, maybe people don't pay attention to, or maybe like most people like don't really notice. I'm not sure, because like I feel like there should be like some sort of academic discussion about like music videos and like what makes like audio visual stuff like mesh together really well. And I understand that there is like some sort of like there are like axioms and like general rules about it, but I've never heard them discussed in any sort of like context, which is disappointing, because it's something that like I pay attention to all the time, and it's sort of what my videos are all about. So yeah, a quieter part of the song is represented by a slow clip, stuff like that. Transition between every beat, and it's different transitions, and the transitions are sort of somewhat dictated by the song. In the beginning, he uses like hard cuts because the song like dictates it. I've watched Aphex Twin, but to be honest, like Aphex Twin music, he does good audiovisual choreography, but like his just music is just not that good. And I mean it, like Aphex Twin music is just not that good. Like, even if he can do good choreography, like if you do good choreography to a boring song, you're gonna get a boring song and dance. So that's how I feel about Aphex Twin. And like there's other videos where I've noticed like this video and song like really fit together, but just like the song is fucking boring as shit. Like Lolliger Dodge's first AMV, this one, Into the Labyrinth. Let me watch a clip. Like, this was back then, and he's still like got very tight a very tight connection between the audio and the visual. But this song is boring. It's like just like fucking really boring. So yeah, I don't know. Like, and that's, I guess that's more it's my own personal taste that I just didn't like the song in this video. But there's something about it that just feels like meaningless compared to the rest of the music that he's used in his videos. And I don't know. I can't like music is one thing that I really don't understand. Like, I don't understand why I like certain things and hate other things. But like a lot of popular music, it's not because it's popular, but like the way it just sounds very like boring to me. And I guess it's because I'm so cool or something. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting kind of burnt out here, and I think I'm getting less coherent. There's a couple things with live streaming that I need to figure out. Number one is like I don't feel comfortable like just hanging out and doing my own thing. So like even when I'm trying to program, I feel bad that I'm not talking, and so I need to figure out if that means I should just stop. I should just never live stream again, or like what the deal is. Another thing is like I don't feel comfortable getting up, so I end up sitting for like 3 hours, which is not something that I usually do. So yeah, I don't know if this will be the last live stream or if I'll do another one, but that's sort of my feeling about it. And I also don't want to like have my life revolve around live streaming, and I don't want to be like a personality, because I don't know, there's something really devilish about that. This one thing I was thinking about today is like I want to, I guess like part of like live streaming is like an outlet for me to talk to random people who will listen to me for some reason. And yeah, what is? I think you might not like how monotonous artists can get when they hit mainstream popularity. They kind of hit success with one thing and try to replicate it across everything. That could be what's going on. But for example, like for a popular musician like Avicii, I don't think his music was ever good. I think it was always bad. And for some reason, he was really popular. Maybe his music has is appealing to a lot of people, but it sounds like shit, which is, I don't know. Like, just a lot of artists like never sounded good. They just always sound like shit. Like Topaz, as he's gotten a little bit more popular, his music has changed quite a bit. Like, I don't enjoy it for the same reason that I used to, but I still enjoy it. But I don't think that he changed because he wanted to sound more popular. He just, like, if he had kept, I don't know, like Topaz had a good natural evolution in its music. But like, who's someone that like really went down the shithole? Maybe like Saint Vincent or something. Because I haven't really listened to any of her new music, but it just looked like she was trying to copy Lady Gaga and be like notable, which is too bad because her first album was really good. If anyone knows who Saint Vincent is, her first album was really good. But yeah, I can barely speak anymore after like 3 hours, which is weird. We listen to you because you're a different kind of artist. You break out of the norm. Do I really break out of the norm? I feel like I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like talking and thinking like I'm too special because. I don't know. I'll just be an asshole later, basically. But I do have a lot of opinions, so I gotta get them out here somewhere. Yes. Something similar happened in country music, though. Shit became popular with monotonous drum patterns, and country music tried replicating that, killing the genre. I would just love to watch you work with some commentary on what your thoughts are and what you're doing from time to time. And maybe if you feel bad, take rest every hour to answer some questions. Yeah, that might be good. That might be good. Because I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity because maybe a few people want to hear me talk. And like I don't know, I do have ideas, and I do like work on stuff a lot, and feel like I should be sharing some of that with other people, but I just don't know how, and maybe this is the answer, hopefully. But oh, there's one more thing I want to talk about. That's dancing. So yeah, so Take Some Crime he's a dance YouTuber. If you haven't heard of him, but I'm just gonna like let's just watch a clip of one of his videos. And once again, pay attention to the music and how the visual interacts with the music, I guess. Let me go to one more video, because I think that his one of his other dances is actually a better example of this.
Like the legend of the phoenix, ends were beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? was from the beginning. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
Okay. So yeah, the deal with dancing is just that if and this is for if you're watching a dance, but like clearly something seems to be going on. Like different kinds of sounds seem to dictate different kinds of motion, and like dancing and improvised dancing and sort of dancing in a way that looks good for a song that you're listening to. You have to listen to the music. Like you can't just do something random at a tempo, and like sometimes people do that and it looks okay, but like a good song has like an ebb and a flow, and a good dance will pay attention to that and will sort of match that, I guess. The guy doesn't have bones in his arms. Yeah. And one more thing I would say is that when you're actually if you're actually performing a dance, the appeal of the dance is completely different than when you're watching a dance. Because when you're watching a dance, you're sort of you're having an audiovisual treat. Once again, like when you're actually doing a dance, it is the motion. When you feel it, like the motion in your hands, and different moves that you do, you'll feel different sort of like inertia, and like when you stop your hand, you'll feel something. And if you do that in tune with a beat, and you do different movements and sort of mix it up, and it fits the music that you're listening to, it's sort of like a wonderful experience that you can't I mean, I would say it's about as satisfying, or maybe more so, than watching a dance, but it's also a completely different appeal than watching the dance. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But I need to go to bed now, so I will see you guys in another stream, maybe. Yeah. Thanks.